All right. What do we got here? Fording France, family living costs revealed. Yo, this was a horrible frame to start on this video. She looks like she's about to scream into the microphone. This is coming from Baguette Bound. I'm really curious about this. This was our recommendation on the cost of living to live in France, and I imagine it's probably less than the US. The only countries that I would think of the cost of living would be more in Europe would be probably like Sweden, Finland, Norway, and Switzerland. Maybe UK, maybe, I don't know. We're gonna find out though. I'm curious what the cost of living is in Europe. You know, me and my wife have been talking about, you know, not like a full-time move, but maybe like hopefully if things go well enough, we can get like a space to live in occasionally and maybe come out for like a month or month and a half at a time, once or twice a year. And then, I don't know, Airbnb it. I'll probably be one of those horrible people that buys a place and then Airbnbs it and everyone hates them. Oh gosh. Okay. Affording France, family living costs revealed. Let's dive into this one. Oh, and if it's your first time here, my name's Jacob, by the way. Okay, I'm American, and yeah, I react to a lot of interesting culture all over Europe. All right, let's go.
How much does it cost for a family to live in France for a year?
This has been one of the most surprising aspects of this adventure so far.
Spoiler, it's cheaper than you think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Raina.
I'm Jason.
We're Baguette Bound, and today we're going to talk about what it cost us to live in France.
I didn't even notice. I said the name of their channel, Baguette Bound, and it didn't even click in my head. A baguette. Oh man.
For a year. When we first started thinking about doing this, that was our first question. How much is this going to cost, and can we pull it off? So we decided to start with what the French government says it's going to cost, and the amount that they will want to see in your bank account.
Hold up one second. Is the quality okay on this?
Government says it's going to cost, and the amount that they will want to see in your bank account, which is 17,000 euros per person, which is roughly equivalent to the French minimum wage.
We were suspicious.
Wait. What did she say?
Which is 17.
Hold on. I think I like barely.
So we decided to start with what the French government says it's going to cost, and the amount that they will want to see in your bank account, which is 17,000 euros per person, which is roughly equivalent to the French minimum wage.
We were suspicious. That was a lot less than we were spending in the US. And France was more expensive? We didn't know.
Right.
So we've been here a year. What does it really cost us?
Yeah. That's what you're going to see in this video. Stick around to the end and you'll find out our actual number of what we spent.
First up, housing.
Okay.
Yes.
What is housing in France?
Yes.
So to rent like around a 1,500 square foot house, it varies by region like it does everywhere. So some rough estimates. So to rent a 1,500 square foot place in Paris, maybe around $3,500 a month. In Bordeaux, which is our nearest big city, one of the larger cities in France.
And beautiful.
Very beautiful. My favorite city. Bordeaux is around $2,000 or 2,000 euros a month for a 1,500 square foot place. Here locally in the countryside, around $1,000 a month for a 1,500 square foot place.
That's really good.
Last year, we spent $1,500 a month to rent a large 4-bedroom that was all utilities and bills included at the house. So all of our heating and water and power were all paid for $1,500 a month.
Yeah, to give you, and this was in a
4-bedroom. That's what I have now. So I'd be kind of right around there. Did he say how many square feet though?
1,500 square foot place. Last year, we spent $1,500 a month to rent a large 4-bedroom that was all utilities and bills included at the house. So all of our heating and water and power were all paid for $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't say square footage, but still 4-bedroom. I would imagine. I'm gonna do it in feet. You guys don't do feet. Well, I'm just gonna say feet because that's what I know. Maybe like 2,000 square feet. I don't know. Not bad. 1,500. That's pretty good. I mean, I'm assuming they're obviously renting from a landlord, like they said. My mortgage is about it's $2,750. It kind of adjusts a little bit with property taxes every now and then, but we have about 2,800 square feet. But yeah, That's not bad. I would definitely cheaper out in the countryside, which is exactly where I'd be at.
This was in a pretty small, they call it a commune, so it was in a small village in the countryside. Okay, so that's housing. Healthcare. This one is, everything works quite differently here, and so we were really unsure what to expect because we were pretty accustomed to spending a lot of money on healthcare in the U.S. You will be required as part of a visa, if you're getting one, to purchase international healthcare coverage, an international healthcare policy, I guess. But it's a lot.
Yo, we got to stop really quick. Switzerland is higher than the U.S. That's nuts. I just thought for sure that we were the highest. I had no idea. Even Austria is like fairly close.
Healthcare coverage, an international healthcare policy, I guess. But it's a lot more affordable than you would expect. It was $1,100 a month. For
a year.
I'm sorry, a year.
I was damn.
I'm like thinking about U.S. prices. It was for a year, and it covered, sort of major things like hospitalizations. If you needed to have yourself flown back to the U.S. For something, those kind of things. It didn't cover like medications and regular, just normal doctor's visits.
No.
So
a bit of a catastrophic coverage plan for international.
Yeah.
For our whole family.
For our whole family. Yes, exactly. And that it did not have a deductible or anything.
Correct.
That was just the total cost, $1,100 for the year.
And once we're here, it costs about $25 a doctor visit to go. The cost for medication varies depending on which medication prescriptions you're getting. As an international traveler, as a visitor, someone on a visa, you pay the same price as French people do for their medications. It's extremely cheap. I'm diabetic, so I'm accustomed to paying a lot of money in the US for my medications and prescriptions and devices. I paid roughly 10% that US price here in France, as that's just the flat rate that I would pay every month while we were on that international education cost.
It's still $25 for a visit. I wasn't expecting that. We don't pay anything for doctor's visits. It's just included in our insurance, and I'm not too sure about medications. You guys have probably heard me say this before. We don't take any medications. Don't come at me. We're kind of holistic in our home, but yeah.
Yes.
So our daughter is in middle school.
Right.
So what are education costs here? So for like primary education, elementary, middle, high school,
education
the costs are quite low. You have maybe 3 basic options. You could go for an international school, so something definitely targeted at visitors, at foreigners here in France.
Right.
International schools vary widely. They might run you $15,000 or more per year. Mm-hmm. Those schools are almost entirely in English, based on some type of education plan elsewhere, either in England or the US. They try to mimic those programs. For a French private school, it's around $2,000 a year. And for a French public school, there's no cost. It's public. You do pay for food, which for us was around $200 a year.
Which at this public school she went to was amazing. So we felt like we were getting
It was worth it for $200 a year.
Yeah. Transportation.
Yeah.
Another.
That's actually school's pretty comparable, I would say. I was kind of a little taken back there that they started kind of with like the international private schools and then they went over to the public. I was like, whoa, I thought they were talking about public schools at first. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Not about the same, I would say. We looked at a private school for our children and it was roughly, it was about like $18,000 to $25,000 a year for a private school. So maybe a little bit more for a private school, but you're choosing to send your kids to a private school. We're actually considering homeschooling, which is still a little bit of a cost, but it's much lower. It's like I think like $4,000 a year or something like that.
The big costs. So this is going to vary depending on where you're living, of course, because it's pretty well known that most European cities have pretty good transportation networks within the city, and it's likely you won't need a car at all. If you're in the countryside like we are, definitely need a car. You really, I suppose that it is possible if you live near one of the, like in a village or city with train, but it would be really challenging without a car. Just to give you some ideas of what things cost. So like for us, it might cost us, we live about an hour and 20 minutes outside of Bordeaux. It'll cost us around $10 to go into Bordeaux we bought the local discount card. And then, so that's about a 70-mile trip.
Yeah.
Yep. And then if you're going a little further, so say Bordeaux to Paris,
70 miles.
that's about 2 hours. I don't know how.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour train ride.
Yeah. So those are going to be anywhere depending on like second class, first class, how far in advance you're buying it, that kind of thing. 20 to maybe $120 euros. Sorry, I still say dollars.
Yeah,
really
all
often.
the time.
And then if you're going maybe all the way across the country, so like say from Bordeaux to Strasbourg, which we did to go see the Christmas markets last year. Those were super cool, by the way. It was around.
Really quick, I just thought about it too. I know I've been saying dollars as well, and I know they've been putting some prices on here. I think I saw a dollar sign though next to their prices, so they might be giving me the prices in dollars. So I know there's a slight difference between euro and dollar. It's not much though. It's pretty comparable. So
It was around 200 euros.
Yeah, you might get it cheaper, but $90 to $200 euros to go across the country on a train.
Right. So that gives you kind of an idea. So if you're based in a city, and also usually there is, I think pretty much always, some sort of local subscription card for the local transportation system.
Buses.
So when you, if
Yeah.
you've ever been to Paris or any other European city, probably the price that you were paying per trip, just buying tickets to ride the metro, it's going to be a lot cheaper than that if you're actually living there and you buy like a monthly pass. As far as car costs, I know if you're thinking about being here for months and you're thinking about a Hertz rental car daily rate for 6 months, then you know, yeah,
It's expensive.
that sounds
That's
really
kinda
painful.
crazy.
There are other options.
Thankfully.
Yes, thankfully.
The one thing we've found here is there are some local stores, some grocery stores, and some other options that will rent cars out to kind of local citizens. I would never think to go to a grocery store for my car, but that's an option. So you can get a car, a nice car, for $150 to $200 a month. That usually doesn't include mileage costs,
Right.
so every kilometer that you drive will cost you a few nickels or dimes.
Does
On
include
top
car
of that,
insurance though.
It does include car insurance, yeah.
Oh, that's
so that's
nice.
extremely affordable. Even with a lot of driving, you'll probably be spending less than $400 or $500 a month to rent a car. Currently,
you just buy a car.
we have a subscription. It runs us about $600 to $700 a month. And again, that's all costs included with insurance and
Maintenance.
mileage and maintenance. Those are new.
Does that seem high to you guys? $600 to $700? That's, yeah. I would just buy a car, right? Like, that seems a little more affordable.
Cars, they're very nice.
First one we had is the nicest car I've ever driven.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're showing you pictures of it
So
right now.
Citroen CX-5
wow.
plug-in hybrid. It was a pretty sweet
That's
ride.
why it's $600 to $700.
A lot of
Okay.
strange conversations with French people.
Yes, who
They
would
come
stop
up and
us.
Ask us, what is his car? What is it? Tell me about it.
We didn't have enough vocabulary
It
sometimes
was hard
to
to
talk about it.
my car. I hadn't memorized those words yet. A lot of really good options. You even have more if you can drive a manual. There's a lot of manual cars on the road still here in France, which is different than the U.S. And those costs will come down even further if you want a manual instead of an automatic.
Just know that there are options outside of booking a car from the airport for 6 months, because that price will make you cry. Travel.
Oh, travel's a great one.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. So really one of the advantages of being here long term, you can try to travel in off season. You don't need to pay a premium to try to cram everything into a certain number of days. So
Or go when everyone else is going. Which
Yeah.
is, well,
yeah, so you can time your train trip when train tickets are cheaper. You can time your tickets to whatever the event is.
catching local
when you're on
festivals
sale,
and
yeah.
fun things. Those are awesome too.
Yeah.
Because you're here.
Yeah,
so
that sounds
we wanted to mention that travel is also cheaper than we expected because of the flexibility that you have with being here longer. But it's not part of our total budget, nor does the French government include it. So that brings us to food, which
One of the best parts of being in France is the food.
one of the best parts. It was one of the parts that definitely drew us here.
Yeah.
We love to cook. We like to eat. We like to learn about food.
Me
We
too.
just generally.
Right there
That
with you.
being a big feature, how does it compare to budgeting in the U.S.? What we found, we do a mix of shopping, both at, they call it the supermarché, basically like the supermarket, and farmers markets. One of the surprising things is that in the U.S., I often felt like going to the farmers market was sort of almost like it was more expensive, right? And we loved trying to support that and shop local. And then we'd get home and we'd be like, oh my God, but we just spent the entire budget months of groceries, right? On I don't know, something crazy like
Doesn't everybody does this, right? When you go to the grocery store or the supermarket and you get all your groceries for like the whole week or for 3 or 4 days, and then you get home and then you're like, should we go eat out tonight? I feel like we always do that. So that's funny.
hazelnut honey, which would always be amazing, but also just didn't feel very sustainable for regular shopping in the U.S. It's the opposite here. But if you find a market that's actually caters and serves people
I
who
love
live
going to
locally,
markets like this.
oh man, the produce prices are usually much cheaper. You can find there's a couple of butchers that we really like.
You can always do a full grocery trip
Yeah.
at the farmer's market, which wasn't always true in the U.S.
No, you can get cheese and bread and produce and meat and like everything that you need, and it's usually either the same or cheaper. And then restaurants, this is the other amazing thing. Fine dining is probably in some ways pretty similar, right? Like there's really nice Michelin-starred restaurants in the U.S. that are expensive, and they have those here in France also. What I think is the big difference is that you can find a 3-course, really nice, affordable dining experience here for, 30 euros.
Really?
That barely got you like an appetizer to share and a margarita and main course at Chili's, I feel like. And I just generally enjoy dining out in France, honestly, more than I did in the US. It's
You can get a real dining experience at all different price points.
there's actually a restaurant not too far from us that for 17 euros, you get a like salad or first course appetizer, a choice of a couple different main courses, a cheese course, dessert, coffee, and wine for 17 euros.
Yeah, it's good. What did we actually spend this past?
That's a crazy deal. 17 euros for all that. I'm so like food. Don't even get me started on food. I'm doing another. I have another video I'm doing after this of food, and I'm already hungry. But that's one thing I'm looking forward to. Obviously the sightseeing and the culture, but also just trying European food, French food. I'm pumped for.
Total budget.
Okay. I don't know if you've been keeping track as we've been
Moving through.
Nope.
these, but basically this included a 4-bedroom house in the countryside, a nice car, a public pool,
Nice car, yes.
cooking at home, shopping, and dining out maybe 2 to 4 times a month probably, and an international healthcare policy that covered the 3 of us for the year. And
So the total for the 3 of us,
dun, dun, dun.
right around 45,000 euros for the year. So
Right.
France kind
What? Why did education, healthcare, transportation, travel, food and goods, housing? Yeah, I guess they said that a lot of the like insurance and utilities were already covered in the housing, so that makes a huge difference. Like when I said that my mortgage is like $2,700, I also have electric, and I got gas, and I got water, and maintenance on the house. Yeah, so this is like way cheaper. 45,700 euros for a family of, what'd they say? Is it a family of 5 or a family of 4? 4-bedroom house, maybe a family of 4. That's nuts. That seems like super attainable. I wouldn't be able to live. I would lose my house so fast here in the U.S.
45,000 euros. For
And they have a
the year.
nice car.
So France kind of was pretty close with their guess on what we should have set aside.
Yeah, figuring like 17,000 per adult and maybe like half that for a kid. Yeah, so it was
probably
spot
less
on,
than half.
and we were pretty excited about that because we were probably spending around twice that on
Yep.
these things when we were living in Colorado, and that was a really shocking thing that we could have this experience that we have been dreaming of. And
They probably lived in a pretty expensive part of Colorado too. I would imagine. There's some really nice parts in Colorado where it's like pretty dang expensive. Like where I live, there's some rural parts of Colorado, but not as much as like where I live.
turned out to cost us half what it was just living our regular American life.
Yeah, it was a surprising experience. We feel like we're leading a really high quality of life, and just spending a lot less than we had imagined we would be spending moving to Europe and doing that.
But what we wanted to get across.
Yeah, well, I know she's about to finish here, but one thing I didn't even think of is, like, I don't think I've ever even thought about this, but if they're living there just part-time, depending where they work, they don't have to pay income taxes, do they? How does that work? I don't know why I've never even thought about that. I would feel like you have to pay some type, maybe not. I don't know. If you guys know, let me know in the comments.
With this video is the idea that, this year is going to pass anyway. And you're going to have to pay for housing and transportation and healthcare and education, all those things anyway. And we wanted people to know that if you want to do it in France because you want to have this experience, that I think it's within reach. If that's something, near what you're paying in the U.S. now.
Yeah.
And we were surprised by that, right? The assumption is just like, going to live in France for a year, that must cost a lot of money.
Yeah. It doesn't have to, though.
It doesn't have to. Yeah. So thanks for watching.
That would be hard for me to do it for a year, though, because I don't know what the hell would I do with my house. I'd have to rent my house out because I would not be able to afford keeping my home here while also going and living overseas for a year and paying there as well. It just wouldn't work out. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to work a lot, but all right.
Some help with where to start with this, or you have some questions, look us up on baguettebound.com. We offer one-on-one consultations.
Dang, y'all got a website?
Love to talk
consultations?
to you.
All right, yeah, they're probably crushing it. I bought a domain for my channel, and I'm like, I don't even know. I don't want to. I'm trying to get you guys some merch. That might be a way that I can make some money from YouTube. But other than that, I'm like, I just like putting content out, obviously, and of course Google. All hail Google. All right, that's it for this video. Appreciate you guys watching. Very informative and actually giving me some stuff to think about. All right, I'm gonna head out of here. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.